Alrighty, welcome back to another week of NOVAtazz Automotive Podcast. And there is a major echo coming from somewhere.
Sorry. That was on me.
You had something unmuted. Anyway, it's never a NOVAtazz podcast if there isn't some sort of hitch in the beginning of it. But anyway, all right. So welcome back to another week of NOVAtazz Automotive Podcast. This is season 2, episode 26, and yeah, we're just gonna hang out and chill tonight and see what happens. I have a few things that I've noticed in the automotive industry. I might be late to the game. I might not be. I don't know. But yeah. Anywho. How are you guys? What are you guys up to? I've already tried to get my stream boss to do what it's supposed to do. It appears to not be responding. I have no idea. I have always had crap luck with Streamlabs CloudBot. Here, because you guys can see what I'm drinking.
Well, I'll start out saying that nobody has bumped me off yet, so that's a good thing for me.
Yeah. Well, we got 5 people in here. I see we already got 2 likes. One of them probably is me. Hello, Pilot. If you would like the link to pop up on live with us again, like you did last week, I did put it in Discord. If you would like to go there, since you don't have Facebook. If not, that's okay. There is no pressure to join or not to join. I think Cletus knows that, right?
That's right. That's right.
Never any pressure. It's a matter of, do you want to come out and hang out up here or not? It is always perfectly welcome to hang out in the chat. Okay, that's perfectly fine with that. But yeah, I didn't know that one. C8 crossed the line first at the Indy 500 today. Wait, Indianapolis 500. I didn't think C8s ran an Indy 500. I thought that was only open wheel cars. Was that the missus that just walked by?
Yeah. I was begging her for a drink without saying it.
I know that look. I've done things like that before. I have my drink. I have it poured. Some of you might already know what it is if you know the sound of pouring the specific drink, because it does have a distinct sound.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Ended under caution. Oh, ha 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 ha. I'm gonna. Okay, he muted it. Okay. That would kind of explain why the C8 finished the line first in the Indy 500. You're always a smart aleck. I love that. My kid is yapping up a storm in his baby monitor. And he's supposed to be sleeping. Alright, so it's been a week. And I don't have anybody new on the mini feed to share. Still the last person is Robert Taylor III has followed my Twitter. It's the last one I have up there. Nobody has bumped Cletus off of the stream boss down right there, down below. I have an itch in my nose apparently. But there is something that has changed. There is a new video up on my channel. Now it's not car related, but it is me fiddling around with the new program and getting used to it. So I didn't want to do that with an actual car video. So I played around with the dishwasher video and got that done and up. So if you ever want to know how to do a washer dryer hookup on a portable dishwasher, video's for you. If not, that's okay. I knew it was kind of a niche video to begin with. Whew. Oh, so Danica was hosting the 500. I haven't seen Danica and I don't know how long. Though I don't know if you're being a smartass about her being hot or not. Because you're always a smartass. Oh, my kid is so distracting right now. Uh, move this out of the way here. What's up, Brian? Uh, my week's been okay. A little less stressful than it has been, but still hectic with work. Um, I was just getting done telling these guys that I had gotten back into the editing studio on my computer. Got a video put out, and so we've got that going for us. I need to put up a banner here. Don't forget that one. That will work. Apparently, I have my own theme song, and I enjoy talking to myself. She is not with Aaron Rodgers anymore. I didn't even know who Aaron Rodgers was. Oh wait, wasn't it that one used to be a rookie at one point? I don't know. He used to have always Wrecker or something. Or was that another chick? Oh, okay. Oh my God, the dirty jokes. The dirty jokes cannot stop with that one. Packers quarterback, huh? Just let your mind wander on that one for a hot minute. So, some of the things I did notice, there's been a lot more talk about the Dodge, I guess off-road truck to compete with the Ford Raptor. Seen a lot of that in the news recently. There's been controversy over Amelia Earhart's C8 Corvette. What else? Speaking of C8 Corvettes, I have my entry into the Inshane Designs C8 Corvette giveaway. Because I mentioned this on the stream, it'll most likely be I won't win now, but that's just funny business. Uh-oh, somebody dropped off. Oh, what else did I see? Apparently, not that I like talking about electronic vehicles on this on the stream, but it is inevitable that we are going to go to electric vehicles. But apparently, Elon Musk had his battery test session the other day, and is supposedly supposed to be coming out with the results to that next month. A lot of people are speculating that it's going to be the end of the big motor companies in the United States. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what notification that was, but okay. As a Ford fan, the Raptor being an EcoBoost V6, yeah, I'm sorry. I do agree. The EcoBoost V6. I mean, granted, it'll make horsepower, but what the EcoBoost is going to lack is torque. You cannot make up torque with turbochargers. I mean, unless I'm wrong. But yeah, I do agree. Them switching down to a smaller motor, though, is also probably in part due to office politics. May not necessarily be in Ford's control, or maybe Ford is just going in a different direction and preparing people for the electric vehicles. I have no idea. But Dodge is doing what Pontiac did in the late 70s and refusing to give up on big horsepower and big torque. So definitely have my hands out to Dodge with that one. Because yeah, I'd love to see them going down with a fight. We're talking about Elon Musk and their battery test that they just had for the EVs,
Ah,
um, along with Dodge coming out with their, what the hell was it called? Now I forget what it was. I had it like the whole time leading up to this show. I knew what it was. It was the Dodge version of the Ford Raptor,
oh,
where they're sticking the Hemis in it and stuff.
yeah. The
I mean
Rebel,
the Hellcats, not the Hemis.
not the Rebel. Then the Rebel's like a
Yeah, that's an older one.
little V6. Yeah.
No. Oh, the original Rebel was not a V6. The original Rebel was a V8. It was almost like a Baja inspired Dodge Ram, and that had a V8 in it. Now, whether or not the production, what came to the actual population, was a V6, but the original concept was a V8.
The only one I drove was a V6, and it was, to me, it felt kind of underpowered, and it's only two-wheel drive, and it just,
That wasn't
to
the.
me, it wasn't worth it.
How do you get a Dodge Rebel and only be two-wheel drive? I mean, it's supposed to be an off-road truck.
I know.
I
Well,
think
same
you
thing
got
with
a
the Ford Raptor, right?
well. I think you got a poorly optioned one, or one where a dealership slapped Rebel
It's a
tags.
rental car.
Oh well, that's probably why.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they always underpower rental cars because they don't want you getting in trouble in those.
Well, I rent with a National,
Yeah.
and I could walk out there and pick whatever car I want. So, like, I got a VW Bug drop top one time. I got a Camaro Camaro SS2 one time, whatever the
Yeah.
heck that was.
I
That was pretty sweet.
just realized that thought I was being smart, and I muted myself on the StreamYard. Forgot the live stream isn't getting my audio feed from StreamYard.
Oh no,
So me muting my sneeze to you had no effect on them hearing my sneeze on the live stream.
I got you. I didn't hear
it. Me trying to be smart, just didn't think enough. Oh,
Just
that's
another
it. It's
day
the
in the live stream.
THX, the THX, the Dodge Ram THX. Brian had it.
Ah, I
Anyway, so
haven't
it
seen that one.
says they never should have left the V8 SC, but yes, there is no torque and an EcoBoost bottom end, which an off-road Baja competition style vehicle you need and want. That's where you don't need a whole top end speed. You need that bottom end torque, and that's any off-road vehicle or anything where you need that power from a dig. Um, Highway vehicle, sure, EcoBoost makes sense. You know, you're at highway speeds, you don't need a lot of horsepower up at top end. You're going to save fuel. Needing that grunt off the line, you need torque. And unless you're going like twin turboed and there's a decent size, or you're going supercharged, you're not going to be able to make up torque with a single turbo. Unless the thing is absolutely freaking massive, but then you're going to take a lot of freaking. You're going to have some. You're going to need some oomph to get it going at that point. Then to get an impeller that size moving.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been pretty surprised with the power they're coming out with 4 cylinders and even 6 cylinders now,
Yeah,
compared to what it used to be. Yeah, and horsepower, of course.
You're missing the equation. Like I said, horsepower is great for the highway. Horsepower is not so good off-roading or where you need to pull something.
Now they have that new electric truck, not
It's
the
different.
Tesla. There's another brand.
That's
I'm
electric.
just saying.
Electric is
They
a
have an
different
electric
ballgame.
one.
Electric makes a shit ton of torque.
Exactly. I was saying they have electric. It's a truck. They have a truck and an SUV. I can't think of the name of the company now, but it's in northern United States, and it's going to be able to have as much torque as a semi truck.
Yeah. Well, again, but like I said, the only problem with an electric vehicle and the way that electric motors work is they're everything all at once.
Right.
They're on or they're off. I mean, yeah, you can adjust power or whatever, but the
Right.
thing with electric motors is there's no buildup of torque. It's just instantly there.
Which is cool sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is cool. But the problem with electric vehicles and torque like that is they're not really good for that low speed torque. Because, if you've ever been rock crawling and stuff, sometimes you just want to ease into that torque to crawl over a hill or whatever.
for sure, especially when you got
you're
one
just gonna,
that's way up on the left or way up on the right.
right.
Yeah,
And this is also why something like a inline six Jeep Cherokee can normally out tug a full size truck. Why?
Yep.
Because of the way the torque is set up in the Jeep versus the truck.
Sure.
It's able to put that torque down evenly at lower ends so it doesn't slip. Whereas like the big V8s, you got to get your horsepower, you got to get your RPM up a little bit. And once you get that RPM up a little bit, then your wheels spin.
Well, that's why everybody loved the Suzuki, not the Sidekick. What was before the Sidekick? Not Ninja. I don't. Anyway, the little one that was like the
little three-cylinder one that was kind of like the Geo Tracker.
Yeah, man, everybody loved that thing because it was just full of torque. That's all it was.
It was light, but it only had a 3 or 4 cylinder in it.
Yep.
Oh, what's chat say here? Oh, I gotta bless you for the sneeze.
Yeah, still making fun of you sneezing.
Lola said we heard it. Yeah, I messed up on that.
There we go.
I didn't. I
Samurai,
definitely did not. I didn't think far enough ahead. And my kid is still in there freaking yapping. I put him to bed. That's why I'm late, because he didn't go to bed till like 8:40. But he's in there.
You got school tomorrow?
He's 3. He's not even 3 yet. He's 2.
Oh well, maybe
He'll be
not
3 next month. No, he's just yapping.
My kids are teenagers, so.
Well, you get to that point to where they're younger, and you do nothing but want them to speak and talk. And then they get to that point where you've taken the lid off of that talk box, and you can't put it back on. It's like you want them to speak when you want them to, but now they just don't stop speaking.
Yeah, you're just getting started. So.
Oh yeah, I know. This is my 3rd kid.
Oh,
I'm also the eldest of 5 kids. I have 4 younger brothers and sisters. So I've been down this road more than once. Not even even before I even had my own kids. Because I'm old enough that my youngest brother is 20 years younger than I am.
Oh, wow. Make you feel old yet?
Yeah, considering, he's only 17.
Wow.
So,
yeah, my daughter will be 16 in October, so. And I think you and I are the same age.
Yeah. So we're old. Okay. We'll get past that. Or we'll forget that we're old. I'm supposed to check my Snap, apparently.
Oh, boy.
I do have a Snap for this channel. Some people know it. Some people don't.
Well, I seen your new video came out today, finally. It's pretty good.
The link is in the description. Just letting you know. Somebody's trying to beat you.
Oh, I see.
The link is down in the description.
They could try it. They might get me.
Or you could type in, I think it's I donate or exclamation point donate. I'm not positive. But it should definitely be in the link in the description. I can't personally go look at it right this second because if I do, I'm going to screw up everything on the stream. Because, it's a beta like that. I can check CloudBot though. Commands.
You've been driving for 50 years and haven't towed anything, Pilot says.
Yes, it's
That's crazy.
Exclamation point donate. If it's working.
Yeah, somebody gonna knock me off, huh?
You can try. We'll see if it's working.
Whatever you're typing there, you're showing on the screen. Didn't know you knew that.
Oh. Damn it. Like I said, this sucks. It's because it's in that same window. You guys gotta peek at my fucking stream boss. My Streamlabs, whatever the hell it is. Normally it does it straight in my Streamlabs software, but recently it's been doing a pop out.
Well, I've seen, and I know you're using Streamlabs, but I've seen YouTube is updating their live stuff.
I haven't read through it yet. How that's going to affect me.
Yeah, I don't know yet either.
What's it do? What are they doing?
I haven't read through it yet. It just came up today. I uploaded a new video and it popped up and told me about it. So
It might be just getting rid of the old school stuff that I haven't been using in like a year anyway.
sure,
I've been part of the beta thing, so I've gotten the
all the new stuff.
yeah. I've been using the new upload procedure, the new dashboard for your creator dashboard. I've been
Hmm.
using all of that stuff for almost a year and a half, 2 years now.
Well, I'm glad it's better. When it first came out, my computer was so, I guess it was my computer was so slow it couldn't load anything. But it's better now.
Pilot has been driving for 50 years and never towed anything.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. That's
Hang
that's
on,
crazy.
I used my Jeep Cherokee to tow my Nova way back when. I flat towed my Nova from one town to the next with a freaking chain. So obviously that means
Well,
one
that's
person.
not properly towing
Shut up.
anything.
It was called we needed to get this vehicle that was not running and driving from one town to the other when we moved.
Did you at least put a pipe in the middle of it in case the
Fuck
chain
no.
broke? Nah.
No, it was a chain between the two vehicles. I was in the one vehicle with my, to steer and brake, and the other one was in the vehicle in the front to locomote my vehicle. The Jeep. There was a Jeep Cherokee, not Jeep Cherokee, a Jeep Comanche, as the lead train, and then the Nova was the caboose. Because we needed to get the Nova from. Well, actually, no. Was it the Nova that drove like that? Yeah, it was the Nova that drove like that. Yeah, and then we later got the Jeep up and running and was able to rent a dolly for the Jeep to be able to haul the Nova.
The first time I drove a standard, I was 19, and I was in the military. And he said, "Get up there and learn how to drive." Or I said, "I don't know how to drive." He said, "Get up there and learn." They put me on the interstate in Texas, and that's also the first time I towed something as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, deuce and a half.
Let's see. Can trying to. This is live here. Hopefully, mute that. There we go.
Getting it figured out.
Well, yes and no. I'm just going to copy and paste some shit because apparently it's not working. Boom. There we go. And as far as, obviously the other bar is always down there in the bottom corner, at least, but not on mine apparently. I can't donate to my own live stream.
Brian says he's ran a rowback for 10 years, so he's towed lots of crap. Well, yeah, I'm sure. Lots of stuff on rowback.
Yeah, I've towed my Trans Am. I've towed my Nova. I used a U-Haul to tow my freaking my original Dodge Ram 1500.
Like a U-Haul box truck?
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
we were. I think I've told this story. I don't know how many zillion times, but we were on our way down to Sweetwater, Tennessee, to pick up the engine for the Trans Am. Literally bought this truck to do this trip. So I bought this truck to be able to. Well, not just for that trip, but that was the first. That was the first thing that we were planning on using it for. It was a 2001, same year that I have now. It was that dark foresty green.
Mm-hmm.
And I had 31 by 10.5 inch mud claws on it with some aftermarket rims. Some aluminum jobbers from when Advanced Auto used to sell, not Advanced, when Pep Boys used to still sell rims. They were gorgeous. They were black, all like flat black aluminum.
Beautiful, huh?
Honey, there we go. Honey hush. Was not enough to kick him off though. You took a big chunk out of him.
Gotta try it again.
Not enough to kick him off. I don't know how much you donated, but
it hit me. I said it hit me hard, but I'm still there.
Yeah, still there.
Brian says he pulled a 26-foot camper with a Kia. He's just showing off now.
Now, how the hell did you do that? Well, it was like a Sorrento or something. It definitely wasn't no Kia Soul or Rio or Forte. And I'm sure it wasn't like the Ford, the sedans. It had to have been a Sorrento
Look at
or.
that. Beautiful, huh? Honey,
Oh, there she goes. She
Well,
got you. It took her twice, but she got
ah,
you. She
beat me.
dethroned
Ah,
you. Hey, that link's
congratulations.
in the chat there, Cletus, if you want it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I will get to it.
It actually costs less to freaking. I think it costs less to donate through the. It should cost less to donate through the Streamlabs.
Yeah, I knew you said one time you do it that way. It gives you more than.
Well, yeah, it
Money.
does. It gives me, and so because it gives me more out of it, so like the money that I do donate through Streamlabs, through the PayPal, I get 100% of it.
Ah,
The money that you donate through YouTube, through the super chat, they take 33% of it
ooh,
right off the
Kia
top.
Borrego. Boy, them things are kind of rare.
I've never even heard of one of those.
It's a third row luxury SUV. They're pretty nice.
So kind of what
I,
suburban-esque.
Not quite that big. It's
So more
bigger
like
than a
Blazer,
Sorrento.
like a Blazer.
The new Blazer, about that size, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 26 foot trailer. Yeah, that's pretty big for a Kia Borrego. I mean, they got pretty good power, especially all-wheel drive ones. But boy, that's still pretty big.
Yeah, it is. Probably was not very much fun with breaking it. Do I not have Cletus? Where are you at? Talking to chat so I can. There you are, right there. You are
Got me?
up here on the show. There is no reason why you are not a moderator. You get a blue wrench.
Oh, I'm slick now.
Most
I
people that
just
have
gotta.
been up here on the live stream or that I've known for a little while will be a moderator. Because honestly, I'm of the point the more moderators there are in the chat, the more likely somebody will be in the chat that's a moderator, and also the more likely that somebody will be able to jump on something. Because I've had some pretty bad trolls in my live streams, like bad. If you, I don't know if there's anybody that's in this live stream now that was here, except for maybe Pilot, way back when I was still in Auburn, not Auburn, because I wasn't live stream. Nobody's here from when I was in Auburn. There was a couple trolls way back when I was trying to get to 1,000 subs, and we used to do this live stream.
Just people going out and try to mess with you, huh?
They had 4 and 5 accounts live at one time, talking back and forth to each other.
Brian
all
says
kinds of
that,
nasty stuff.
Brian says he didn't even feel it behind him when he's pulling that.
It's not the pulling that I would be worrying with a vehicle that size. It would be the stopping, and it also depends on the trailer.
The hills, and then also the area you're going into. I mean, you're not going to go, the Colorado Rockies or anything.
Right, but I mean, it's.
But that's awesome that a Borrego can do that. I would never.
Yeah.
I mean, I've drove a few of them, and I would never thought they could do it. They're nice.
Kias have some cars with some decent motors in them.
Well, Kias came a long way. If you could think about how they were in the 80s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were
car then.
junk.
They weren't even a car then.
People used to make fun of people, Hyundai and Kia, and then now they're super nice.
Pretty good. I mean, geez, they got one of the best supercars at a really low price out there. Both, what is it, the Kia and then, they share the same body with another bigger known car, but they have the same engine and body. It's the twin turbo.
Well, Hyundai, Genesis.
Yes, the Genesis.
Yeah.
The Genesis and then the Kia something. But yeah, they're freaking luxury sports cars.
Oh, you know what? Was it Lotus? One year they did something with Lotus. Kia did. I forgot what it was, but
they still make.
It was like a sports car.
They
no, this was in early 2000s. They made a sports car with Lotus. I can't remember what it's called, but apparently it's pretty neat.
Oh, the one that they're doing now is the Genesis, and then Kia has their own version of it. I think the Kia one's nicer.
The Telluride or whatever.
I don't know.
Have you seen that? The SUV?
The Stinger. That's what it is.
The Stinger. Yep.
Kia Stinger.
The Telluride SUVs. I think they replaced the Borrego or whatever.
Never heard of
They
them.
are stupid nice. And when they first came out, they were selling everywhere. They were on back order and everything.
May of 2019. You were a couple months late for that then, because I would say that some of my worst trolls were early 2019, like February.
They weren't the fun type of trolls.
We had fun with them.
Or you just talk
But
crap.
there was some of them where they were calling me some not so nice things, accusing me of some not so nice things live in the chat. And now, granted, that was before. And in fact, I probably should. If it starts again, I would have to do it. Right now, my chat that shows up on the screen. Okay, so the one that actually shows up in the live, it is pretty damn near to live as I can get it. The downside of that is when you post something and it doesn't get retracted quick enough, it still shows up on the screen. And obviously, once it's on the screen, it's on the screen. Can't delete footage that's already there. The only thing I can do is go back later and blur something out after the live stream. Because you can use the editing tools inside YouTube to be able to blur stuff. But if it came to where I was starting to get trolls like that again, I would have to delay the live chat to where it give you like 5 or 6 seconds to be able to delete something out of the actual chat instead of the chat that's on the screen, so it doesn't show up on the chat on the screen. I still haven't gotten any of that to work. I don't know why Stream Boss is not working, because it should have already done a few updates. My little spammy messages telling people to use, like, to visit Teespring and stuff. Now, I can spam it, but you know what? We can give people points though, because I know who's here.
I was trying to make a T-shirt early on Teespring, and I couldn't get it to go transparent. It just wanted to be like a white block around.
You can't do that. If you want me to help you with that, I can help you with that. You got to do that in your software. You have to create a PNG file.
That's what my wife was telling me. Background. She does all that stuff. So
right, you have to make the transparent background before uploading the image.
You know, if you upload it to where, like, if you click on the part where it says "buy for yourself," you can make it transparent there. So they have the technology. I don't know why they did.
They did have it in it, but you know what? It does not work anywhere near as nice. And using a white background as your image, it works better if you use a colored background and then delete the colored background.
Well, I was wanting to take my logo there, which is a white background, of course, and then make it onto some T-shirts and stuff for the channel, of course. But
yeah, I can help you with that, especially if you send it, or your wife can.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen mine, but
I have. I was looking at it earlier.
Every single one that's up there, I've created from scratch.
Nice.
Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so let's go back and we'll give some points. Everybody that's here gets 1,000 points. So if you comment right now, Cletus can let me know who it is. I can already know that Pilot's here. So Pilot will get 1,000 points to Pilot. That'll bring him up to 8,000. Because apparently it's not giving people points because it's not registering that people are here.
Yeah, before we name off the people, we got 7 people in chat and only 4 likes so far.
I know, man.
If you guys want to check on that like button there.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean,
let's see. We got Brian Berger.
Brian Berger. Hold on. Let me find him. Brian. There we go. Yeah, I think he needs some points. He's got 20.
And Desiree Berger, which is the one who beat me off the screen there.
Yeah, I think she should actually be pretty high up on that that list by now. She's donated more than once.
Just come in to beat me up.
I think that's all she does. She just comes
I have to sneak back in and take it later.
All right, that's okay. She's got now 3,000 points.
Nice.
Right, and we know it's you. You not that you need the freaking points. Because you are now at 63,000.
Oh, I'm saying his name wrong.
What?
I was saying Berger, and it's not Berger. It's, I guess, Burger.
Burger.
Okay.
It's a Brian Burger. He gets his own.
Brian Burger.
He gets his own sandwich at shoot. What is that place that Jess likes? Not Fridays. They have the
Chili's.
strawberry lemonade drink. They're known for their burgers. Their burgers and their fries. My brain does not work when I want it to. It works just fine when I don't want it to.
Oh, you'll think about it about 2 o'clock in the morning or so.
I saw Low Lid in here too. I don't know if he's still here, but he definitely stopped in and said hi. So let's find him.
Yeah, sure did. Yep.
Low Lid. Now I do believe Chris and them, they'll show up later. There's Low Lid. Wow, Low Lid's only got 130 points. He's in here all the time. I guess it's just that Streamlabs doesn't give him points because they don't see him in the chat or something often enough.
Maybe they don't stay long enough to get more of the points.
But, all right, so let's see. Let's do the. I got to do the top 10 manually because there's nobody here. Okay, so we got Stuff Cletus, yours truly,
Awesome.
at 63,470.
Nice.
Second in position is Matt MPG. Now, if you don't know his channel, he does beer and like scenic places around Pennsylvania, and he does car stuff. His channel obviously is Matt MPG. He has 25,060. Third is Miss Formy, and she has 15,925.
Oh, she's climbing. Good.
She's climbing. It's because she keeps winning those stupid big, like where I do the questions and I give out some ridiculous point number. She keeps winning those. All right, so then we have Texas Beach Bum, who formerly used to be Z Outlaw SS.
Mm-hmm.
He is now Texas Beach Bum. He has decided to migrate his ass to freaking Texas and fish and play with Jeeps. I don't know if he
changed his name and everything, huh?
Yeah, just changed his
I
whole
didn't know
MO.
that.
So he's at 11,850. We have DIY Misfit Mechanic, who I have again has also been on a hiatus again. He is at 11,770. Next one down is Pilot at 8,152. Followed by Old Car Auto Guy at 7,312. Well, you could always hang out with Z Outlaw SS, or as I know him, or as he is now being called, Texas Beach Bum.
I'm going to assume he moved somewhere on the coast then.
Yeah, he moved from he used to live by the Tail of the Dragon.
I don't know what that is.
Where it's a mountainy road by like Tennessee or North Carolina, somewhere around there. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I know it is epically fun to drive and wickedly dangerous. But all right, so Lovely Bunch of Coconuts is after Old Car Auto Guy, or that's his old name. It's Old Car Guy now. I keep wanting to say the auto part, and it's not that anymore. A Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, which is Big E. You know him. He's up here and co-hosts the channel. He has 4,282.
I'm surprised he didn't have more points.
Again, because I don't think he's up here talking, so he doesn't talk in the chat that often.
Ah, I get it.
We have 2 Twitch ones, which I don't count the Twitch ones in this YouTube live stream. Then we have, so that's, how many is that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9th is Desiree at 3,030. That's not donating. She's catching up. She doesn't have a whole lot of watch time. But she
Is
catch
she? I
up in
think
those
she's the one
ones.
that beat me off the off
She's
the
the one that's
screen
been.
last time.
She's been the one. She's been the one that's been beating you off. That didn't sound right. I apologize to your wife. and Brian.
Right.
And then 10th is technically me, but I don't count myself. So the last one would be Chris, Firebird Nation, who's the trucker that joins us up on here on the live.
Mm-hmm.
So that rounds out the top 10. He has 2,725.
Well, she's driving when he's on here, so there's no way he's going to chat.
Well, yeah, he's
being
driving,
yeah.
He chats sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But not all. Brian's a good sport about my comment. Oh, God. And life is so much more fun when you have a dirty mind and you don't get offended by every little thing that comes down the road. It is. You can have so much more fun. Oh, and there's another new thing. I got new fans in my rig. If you notice, it doesn't have. Well, number one, you can see the lights in the back now. I used to have these fans in the back which don't light up, so they just blended it with the background. But I replaced all 5 fans, and they all are these like halo style light up. So I mean, you can see them a little better there.
Getting all kind of fancy.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to go back to the ones that I had them on. Oh, not that one. That was that one.
When I see your pile of cars is growing back there.
Actually, these are all old. They were in this. These are the ones that were in the box.
You were pulling out of the box, right?
Here.
You got them all out, I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because I was bored during a live training. You know, one of those train from home thingies for work. I got bored, so I started pulling them out of the box. So yeah, I got everything. They're all up here, filled in this. There's 3 in here now. There's another Corvette in here, but they've suffered some damage. So some of these are not that good looking right now. From being in the box and being transported.
Poor pilot got beat out with the dirty thoughts or whatever. Usually he's the first one saying that stuff.
Yeah, normally it's one of those. Am I gonna get demonetized this week because of him? Though, if everybody keeps donating, I won't have to worry about being monetized because I mean,
right?
Nobody really wants to know how much my live streams make when they're not when I'm not getting donations. You're talking like maybe if I'm lucky. My best performing live stream made 20 cents on its own.
Yeah, so really the only thing it's good for is keeping your numbers up.
Well, yeah, and it's hanging out with you guys. It's talking with all of you guys. It's good fun for me. That's why, I mean, like, there was a thing we talked about last week where Streamlabs is starting the thing where they will, you can stream to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. There's only one partly problem with that. Okay, you can't Twitch to you can't stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time if you are a Twitch partner, which means kind of like the YouTube creator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you're vested, you got the 1,000 subs or whatever. If you manage to become a Twitch affiliate or a Twitch partner to where you can get paid for your Twitch streams, you can no longer stream anywhere but Twitch. Like you can stream other places, but you can't stream Twitch and somewhere else at the same time.
At the same time, right.
You can't release that content until after 24 hours of that content being live on Twitch.
Wow.
So you have to wait a day before you can post that content anywhere else. Even small snippet of clips of it. So you can't put a teaser somewhere else of your Twitch stream until 24 hours after it's live. They're to my opinion, that's kind of like, you know, Apple products nudity. Part of the reason why I won't, I mean, even if Apple is better, I won't touch an Apple because, can't say I won't touch because I have it as my work phone, but I won't personally buy an Apple product.
I won't do it because their customer service is shit.
Well, they don't. They're all about what they feel is best for the customer.
Right.
It's not your own mind. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, and I guarantee you, Desiree will beat my snot for this. Because I know she's an iPhone user. But as far as I'm concerned, iPhones are for people that want things, I wouldn't say done for them, but they don't want to have to think about what they're, you know, about doing it.
You heard what happened with Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
well-
big Epic. I follow Epic because my game SnowRunner that I play
Right.
is an Epic game.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
granted, up until then, every single game that Spin Tires has put out has been a Steam game.
Right.
Hey, there is the infamous Matt MPG. We were just talking about him, weren't we?
Sure was.
We was. You are second on my list of loyalty points at 25,060. And we were just talking about the stuff that you do on your channel with the scenic places with he got a nice drone now too. He gets really good shots. And then he does the car show stuff. I'm not sure if he still does the beer stuff, but I did enjoy that content when he was making it. Yeah, the Mavic Air 2. But he's been to some kind of scenic. Now, I have some mixed feelings with some of the scenic places he does because he's been doing a lot of this one bridge that I used to visit ever since I moved up to the Reading area, the Reading, PA area. We called it the dam bridge. But when I first moved up here, it was just recently closed, and it was still nice. It was a great place to go fishing. But now since, you know, being, when I moved up here, it was 2008, 2007. So we're talking 12 years later. Seeing the way that bridge looks 12 years later, considering that is a spot that really meant something to me. Like, you know, I used to go there all the time to hang out with the girls that I was with at that time. And would go fishing up there and everything else. To see that place the way it is now, it kind of makes me sad because it's destroyed. I mean, it's not destroyed. It's destroyed in my opinion. To some other people, it would be a piece of art because it's just been graffitied to hell. You can't even tell it's a concrete bridge anymore. So to me, it's not an urban. Yeah, like Matt said, it's bittersweet. For me, it's not an urban place, so it being graffitied like that is really at a place in the very heavily wooded rural area it's in. Personally, I think that I don't know. I'm not happy about the way it looks, but you know what? I'm sure other people don't mind. It's kind of like the graffiti highway up in Centralia. When I first started going there, you could still see the road. There was some graffiti on it, but it wasn't crazy. And the last couple of times I went up there before I stopped going, I mean, it was nothing but, I mean, and it used to be artwork. Now it's just nothing but penises and, you know, just
gang signs and stuff.
Just stupid, immature BS. It's not somebody actually spending the time to make some small mural or something. That's what it used to be. You know, and that's what ends up getting that stuff closed, and getting people not be able to go there. And that's what'll happen with this bridge. Eventually, it'll get out of hand, and they'll either tear it down, or they'll chase everybody away from that area, which is sad because it's a great place to sit down, relax, have a picnic, go fishing. You know, because there's a lot of flat area leading up to the lake that it's on. There's a lot of nice area around there to hang out with your kids and have fun next to the lake. Well, but it'll all change eventually.
There are a lot of lakes up there.
They're man-made. There's two of them. There's the There's the Lake Onalani. Again, man-made. Hence the dam. And then there's the come on, brain. The bigger one, Blue Marsh. The Blue Marsh is the bigger one. Blue Marsh, you can actually have boats, big boats on.
Wow.
I don't think you're fitting any more than just a little outboard motorboat on Lake Onalani. Matt, I do agree. I'm sure that a lot of people do fish there, but the problem is if the kids get out of hand with that bridge, they may close that area down, and people won't be able to go fishing there. You know, because people don't respect and don't understand, and that's one of the things. I guess that's what bothers me. I was always taught when you visit a place that's abandoned, or you visit something that's beautiful or nice, you leave the place as you found it. You know, you go in, you observe, you enjoy, and you leave it the way you came to it. So that way somebody else can enjoy it in the future. And I think somewhere along the lines that that has changed. That mentality has not been passed on. And people don't understand that, you know, when you go in and you change something like that, you know, what is that, the Doppler effect or the butterfly effect? You know, your small change may have a bigger impact down the road. You know, your small graffiti, even though yours was just small and, you know, not very big, you're going to cause somebody else to see that and want to come down and then add their graffiti, and then the next person wants to top that, and eventually it steamrolls out of hand, and you end up with like what happened up at Centralia, where they tore it up. It's not even there anymore, so now nobody can enjoy or have the historic remembrance of what happened at a town called Ashland. Because the reminder's no longer there. They ripped it up because of people being stupid.
You know, down where I live, there's pretty hefty fines on stuff just because they don't want to end it up like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get caught down here, it's pretty hefty.
Yeah, we had another place in Hamburg, PA, that the locals used to use it as a swim hole. It's a big rock overlooking the river, and they used to jump off of it and go swimming. And the locals knew that it was dangerous, and they respected the fact that it was dangerous. And you'd once in a while hear somebody get hurt there, but not that often. Word got out because social media and the World Wide Web that this place existed, and a lot of out-of-towners came and started hanging out there. People from New York, New Jersey, you know, friends of family that lived around the area. And you started hearing people getting hurt all the time. Eventually, a couple people got killed because they jumped and they didn't respect the area, and they killed them. And well, what happened? Now nobody's allowed in that area at all. You're not allowed to walk in that area. You're not allowed to do anything because there used to be a big walk path through there. You're not allowed to park anywhere near it. They catch you parking there, you get a fine, you get ticketed, and, you know, whole 9 yards. And so, yeah, it ruins it for the people that used it for walking. It ruined it for the people that used to hang out there for just a place to hang out for the day, that weren't even using it as a jump place, because people don't have respect for things and they take advantage of it. Matt says, very true. It upsets me that people vandalize, and that's why I make the videos I do now. Yes, you document things as they are now because they may not be there in the future, and I definitely give you props for that. I think even when I made that comment about it was kind of sad to see it like that, I didn't blame you. Obviously, you didn't do it. My thing is there's two faults. A, when you document something that's a little-known town secret, it puts it out there for a bunch of people to see that are not as respectful for it as the people that are local. So yes, you have the one hand there. On the other hand, you're also documenting something that may or may not be there in the future for others to enjoy. That's why, if you remember way back when people would document places like that, they wouldn't tell you where it was at, because they don't want a bunch of people jumping in there. And I don't think that he necessarily does that either. But it's a matter of, it does get out there, because unlike way back when we didn't have the internet as we do now, you know, local stuff kind of stayed local. You know, now it doesn't anymore. You know, you take a picture of some really, really nice beach somewhere that's secluded that used to have maybe 5, 10 people at it at any given point. You know, you take a video of it there, somebody sees how pretty it is, the next thing you know, word gets out where it is, and the next year you go there and there's hundreds of people there.
Well, yeah, you drop a pin checking in where you're at, saying how nice it is and peaceful
And then
it is.
everybody shows up there.
Yeah.
And they don't respect it like you did, and the next thing you know, it's garbage and trashed because that's what we humans do.
Well, like you said, it's kind of like that domino effect. It takes that one person messing up, and then other people are like, well, it's already trashy. Let me make it worse. Or,
Exactly.
who cares?
Pretty much.
So, do you guys have people that go in and clean it up, like volunteers and stuff?
Yeah, there was the one cove, White Beach Cove, that, you know, obviously people used to only go there in rowboats. You know, they used to paddle out to this beach. And then, you know, obviously it got out to, you know, obviously, and I don't want to hate to say this and group a certain bit, but rich people with their big boats, because, you know, they can afford to stay home all day and not have to be, you know, at day jobs and shit, would back their big old boats up into this canoe and party on that beach all day, all the time. And it got to the point to where it was starting to kill the coral and the ecosystem in that, around that island, because of all the pollution from the boats and the pollution from people on the shore, whether they're using the you know, when you got hundreds of people using the ground as a bathroom, it
Right.
throws off the ecosystem in the area because of all the ammonia and everything else.
Well, not to mention just the boat traffic. You know, the heavier boat's going to make bigger waves, bigger engines.
Bigger waves.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, you also got, you know, I don't care how well your engine is, it's going to freaking leach hydrocarbons into the water.
Sure.
And if it's a delicate balance, it doesn't take much to tip it. You know, but they're leaving their freaking, you know, they're picnicking freaking garbage and everything else. And the scenes of when the people closed the beach to clean it up, it was just within 4 or 5 years of people doing this. And the before scenes from when it was like an Epic magazine shoot place to where it looked when they had to go in and go clean it up, it was like, oh my god, it's scary. You know, just how quickly an area that is so gorgeous can go downhill. And they weren't even building anything. It was just, you know, just people hanging out. They weren't building hotels or nothing or anything like that. It was just, you know, and that's what happens. Matt says the week after he was at Centralia, March 15th of last year. Was that this year or last year? It might have been this year. There was a huge party where people started a fire in the big crack in the middle. The company that owned it shut it down to cover it up and covered it up with dirt. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is like, geez, when I first started going there, the fire was actually still slightly underneath the highway. So if you don't know, Centralia, or what was at one point named Ashland, they actually picked up and moved the whole town of Ashland a couple miles down the road. But what happened was, it's a coal mining town. And there is a coal mine that literally runs underneath the town. A coal vein. And some kids were playing, and they caught some trash on fire in the dump that's there, and that fire transferred underground into the coal mine. And literally lit the coal vein on fire. And I don't know if you know much about coal veins, but once they go, there's no putting them out.
Yeah, I've seen that on the news and stuff. I guess it's been going for some years now.
Oh, yeah. Well, since like I want to say the 80s, if not older than that.
It was the one I'm thinking of. I think it was like 65 or something, 1965
yeah,
or
I don't know. It was
66.
a long time ago. But it is now since burned out from underneath of Ashland. Because it used to be, when I first started going up there, you would see nothing. Nothing would grow. It would all the trees were white. You know, anything that was still there was all like white, and you could see the smoke and the haze coming up out of the ground, and you could smell it. It wasn't technically safe to be there for a whole long period of time, but it was cool to go up and visit for a little bit and leave. Well, now since the fires have since moved on, the whole area has turned green again, And like I said, so now it's the asphalt on the graffiti highway used to be hot. You know what I mean? It used to be really warm to the touch, even on an overcast day. And smoke would come up through that crack that they're talking about. You're gonna make my Alexa work. Good thing mine's on. But yeah, so the units, when I first started going there, you would actually see smoke coming up through that crack that he's talking about that they set the fire in. And what happened is the heat was so bad underneath the highway, it caused it to ripple and crack. And so there's one spot where the median, it had an actual like concrete median that ran down the center of it for a little ways, and it busted up and it fell in. And you got this crack that's there now. But apparently they set a fire in there, and so they're like, well, that's it. And the sad thing is that land was owned by the township for so long, and they had big barricades you wouldn't allow in, and if they caught you in there, you'd get fined. So you used to sneak in there. Then this company bought it and opened it up to the public as whatever, and that's. And it sucks because, they did that because of the fact that the state really shut it down and wouldn't let anybody in because it did get bad before that. They shut it down. Nobody was allowed in. Everybody came in an uproar. Somebody privately bought it, opened it back up, and then this is how they thank them. Is by just destroying it because they couldn't behave. And so, because this private company is now reliable if anything happens to people in that area, now they can't. They had to do something. Otherwise, somebody got hurt. They could have gotten sued. What's up, Biggie? Yeah, I seen you in the chat. I just haven't gotten a chance to get down to your comments.
Nah, I figured.
And you can actually even say your comments now. Yeah, it's dumb.
It's the 1% ruining it for the other 99%.
Well, yeah, but the problem is it's not 1% anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like 90%.
It's like the 20-30% ruining it for the other, 60-70.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it is. It's just today's society doesn't care. Mm-hmm. And there's a more and more majority that doesn't care about their history or their future.
Yep.
They only give a shit about the here and now and what makes me happy at this exact moment. And what can I get for the next moment?
Yeah, instant gratification.
Yep. So I'm surprised there's still 8 residents living in that town. I could have sworn some of them would have freaking keeled off by now. No. What was supposed to be a controlled burn, Biggie?
I thought the fire that started the mine fire in Centralia was supposed to be a controlled burn.
No, it was a bunch of kids playing in a freaking dump. Oh, actually, it was 2 kids playing in a dump that started a fire that got out of control.
Oh, as fires tend to do.
Yep. Well, especially when kids are playing with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was no controlled burn near a coal mine.
Man, Cletus's mic is brighter than my future is.
I know, man. He looks like an anglerfish.
I know, right? Except instead of coming up his forehead, it's like right next to his face.
If I turn it off
on its side.
If I turn it off, you won't be able to hear me.
You just need to put some electrical tape on the end of it.
This is for my Xbox, so.
Let's see, yeah, because Xbox.
I mean, that's pretty cool. That would keep me from, talking with my mic muted, and I'm sitting like, why can't anyone hear me? I'm going through like checking all the settings and everything.
Me and Big E playing 7 Days
thing right here.
That's the epitome of me and Big E playing 7 Days to Die.
Well,
he's talking. I'm not hearing him.
Yeah, I'm sitting there yelling at him. Why are you not listening? Why are you doing that? And then I'm like, oh, because you can't hear me.
No, what are you doing?
See, I'm wrong. Matt says it was never technically opened. It was still no trespassing zone.
Oh.
And apparently it has started May 27th of 1962.
That was 1960s.
Damn, early 60s.
Yeah, that's one I was seeing on the news. I think it was.
Like I said, it was still burning underneath the town in the early 2000s.
Right.
It's only been recently that it's moved on to where the plants started growing in again. Like, when I first visited up there in like the early 2000s, you could still see the town.
Yeah.
The town is now so overgrown that a lot of the side roads, a lot of the roads off the main road, you can't even take a vehicle up through. I tried taking my truck up there in 2014, and I couldn't get very far off of the main road. Down like it had normal town where it had like a cross section of roads,
Yeah.
And I only got a block or two off of the main highway into that little cross section of the town before I ran out of road.
Ow.
Well, ran out of road big enough to fit my truck through.
Mm-hmm.
There was one scratch that went all the way from my front fender all the way down my bed from a branch that rubbed against the side of the truck going up there.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
Was that when you had the green truck?
See, now he's saying it was an attempt of a controlled burn.
I thought so.
That's not the rumor I heard.
Well, it's the thing about rumors, though.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the history I heard, it was kids that started the fire.
I mean, it could have been kids attempting a controlled burn. What do we know?
Well,
that was back in 1962.
It could be either one. Either one sounds, like it could be.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just information that I was miscorrect on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a double negative.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if Chris is popping in tonight. I'm sure he will be eventually, but he's getting later and later popping in.
Working hard out there.
I guess.
Yeah.
Hardly working, one of them.
No.
Chris, he sits on his ass all day. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I would
let's be
never
honest.
want to be a truck driver.
Yeah,
it's not
I couldn't
hard
do
work,
it.
but
I don't even like driving the
pulling out in
hour
front of you and stuff. It just
I don't like even driving the hour back and forth to work. I can't imagine my whole work being in the driver's seat.
well, think about having to drive a semi back and forth an hour
Well, yeah, I know. It's just
with other
Yeah,
traffic.
he's got a really comfy seat, though.
I know.
I'm sure he does.
The
Air
Kia
ride and
Soul,
everything.
Now, see, that's another difference. Like the gray Kia Soul that I have, the silver one, that seat is nowhere near as comfortable as the green Kia Soul seat. Because the one's the base and the one's the Kia Soul
One
Plus.
of them, I was going to say one of them's the Plus, right?
Yeah, the Plus one actually has a more comfortable seat. It's actually
That's
more, but it's
vehicle
still
my daughter
nowhere.
is wanting.
The funny thing is that it's still nowhere near as comfortable as the 30-year-old seat in my Trans Am.
Just the way it hugs you, I guess.
It's well, you got to think that's a completely different style of foam, completely different style of dealing. The ones in the Kia are a lot firmer, and they're literally like sitting on a fucking stack of cardboard. They have some give, but they don't have a whole lot of give. It's really stiff foam, and the one in my TA, yeah, the ones that I'm talking about aren't the ones that hug you. The ones that are in it now are, because I have 74 horse collar seats in it now. They're the ones that I have the video about recovering them.
74 seats.
Yeah, 1974.
At first, I thought you meant like 74 individual
no,
seats. I'm like, no,
because
that doesn't sound
see,
right.
Way back when, seats used to be a big deal. You could order your car with specific seats in it. Now you really kind of just get different covers for the same seat.
Nah, now you get like
Unless you really step up.
cloth,
You get like,
leather.
Well, even the
brand
Corvettes
or
and stuff like that. Yeah, they have different seats. They have the comp seats, and then they have the regular seats, and then basically the only other difference you get is stitching and stuff like that.
Mhm.
This would probably be like the similar to that. The horse collar seats would have been like the comp seats.
Mhm.
The stock seats that were in my car were called deluxe seats. They were the top of the line seats for that year. They had a little tiny bit of bolster on the sides, but not much. The horse collar seats, the reason why they call them horse collars, if you remember the old school like multi-horse reins that they had way back when, that had the big hoop that ran around the horse's neck that they attached the reins to.
Yeah.
That's what the back of these seats look like.
Ow.
And it was really like there's a good like 2 or 3 inch difference between the size of the seats and the center. And when you sit in them, seatbelts, the only reason you would need a seatbelt is to keep you from flying forward, because any other direction you're not moving.
Yeah.
There is no side-to-side movement in that seat. There's no slouching down in that seat because the bottom is the same way. The bottom has a really high bolstered bottom and back. So you're literally sitting in a bucket. You're sitting in a hole.
Oh, hence the, name bucket seat.
Well, yeah, that's originally where that, it was, and who's leaving? Oh, see you, Matt. Thank you for stopping
have a good
by.
One. I guess I don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. But there's no door here.
Huh? What?
Huh?
Making a joke.
He's just saying some other country ass shit there.
Oh.
Yeah. Country ass shit.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's why I went, and when I went down and picked that engine up, I never did end up finishing that story. We ended up on some other completely different topic. But
yeah, that happens here.
Yeah, it does. That's why I don't have an itinerary, because if I did, we'd never stick to it anyway. Unlike some other live streams I was a part of. But anyway, yeah, those seats I drove. This wasn't even the horse collar seats. This was just the standard, not standard because it wasn't even standard seats for then. But the deluxe elite seats for '79 did not have anywhere near as buckety of a feel as the earlier Trans Am seats. But in fact, actually, they were the same seats as the standard seats. The only difference was the seat cover. It's a more fancier looking seat cover. Otherwise, the foam inside is the same. But anywho, I drove from Reading, PA, 6 to 8 hours, all the way out to Dayton, Ohio.
Damn.
We stopped like once for gas. I'll tell you what, I got out of that car, I didn't even need to stretch.
Nice.
I can tell you, just traveling an hour in the Kia, when I get out of the car, my back hurts and I need to stretch.
You know what? Them Kias actually have quite a bit of room in them, though. They were surprising.
Yeah. They're definitely roomy.
How comfortable they are. I mean, even though they're not as comfortable as your other car. But...
They're not uncomfortable. I would not want to take a long field trip in them. Okay? And it's the seat. Seat's not comfortable. Not that comfortable. It's comfortable to, go here, there, wherever you need to go, but it's not as comfortable as, and even some of the luxury cars you get today, those seats are nowhere near as comfortable as they were in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
The most comfortable seat I've ever sit in was like a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I don't know why.
Sit in
and drive for a while. Sorry.
Late 80s Ford Crown Vic LTD.
Okay.
You are literally driving on a mattress. Those seats are so comfortable. That and the Caprice Classics from about that same time period.
I've sat in the old Caprices.
So the Caprice Classic, it's got to be the Caprice. Is it the Caprice Classic? What is the luxury version of the Caprice back then? It had the wood grain dash and all that fun stuff. Whatever that one was, because I've ridden in both the regular Caprice and then the Caprice my mom had.
I got you.
And the seats are definitely different, but they were like overstuffed fucking lazy boys.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The big,
they were just
especially
comfy.
the station wagon one.
Yeah, they were just.
Buick had a one that was.
Yep,
their version of it too.
Buick Electra had big comfy.
Electric.
Big comfy seats. Comfy.
Well, you just gave them the name of their next car, the Buick Electric.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just the way that those seats were made back then. They were super comfortable.
Your two Kias, do they have the GDI engine?
I have no idea.
Probably.
I have the 2.0.
Yeah.
Well, there's the base engine, and then there's GDI. It says GDI on the top of it. So.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't have my cover on it anymore.
Oh.
The 2012.
Weight reduction, bro.
The 2012 has the bigger engine with the six-speed manual automatic transmission. And then
the transmission with a personality crisis.
Yeah, it's a transmission that you can shift like a manual. But then the 2011, which is the gray one. It has the smaller 4-cylinder with the 4-speed transmission.
Ew, why would what? That doesn't make much sense.
Base model. Now, the gray one can't. The gray
Yeah.
one you literally have to flog to get it to move, and it doesn't like to go much past like 80 miles an hour in Mexico. The green
Texas,
one,
there's an 85-mile-an-hour speed limit in Texas.
and in the green one, the 6-speed, that thing gets up and goes right off the line. It pulls you in your seat all the way up until like 90.
Damn.
And then it'll still go up over 100. It's just the further you go up above 80, the more scarier that car gets.
Mhm.
It likes to move and dance and get all light-footed. Huh?
It has soul.
Yeah, it gets all light-footed.
It has soul.
Now, that's nothing compared to my Nova. So my Nova, it's always had, since not long after I got it, I jacked the rear end up in the air and whatever. And it doesn't have, those cars came stock with a front splitter.
Yeah.
Had a front air dam that actually was not used for downforce. It was used to push air up into the radiator. So it was just underneath the front bumper on the bottom of the rad support. And what it would do is the air would hit it and it would shove it up into the hole for in the front of the rad support for the radiator.
Yeah.
It would also add a little bit of downforce to keep a little bit of the air from going underneath the car. My
Just
car
a
didn't
little.
have one of those because 90% of them got freaking smashed off on a curb somewhere because they were only plastic, and
Yeah.
30-year-old plastic doesn't fare too well. They get brittle.
Yeah.
So I was going down. What is it? Not 401, but there's a road that goes from from Reading to Honeybrook, and that we used to always fly down that road because the cops didn't sit on it that often. It was just a quick exchange between the two areas, and the speed limit was 65 anyway.
Yeah.
And so we were flying, and I was going down to Maple Grove with my buddies, and we would test to see how fast our car would go. Now, this at this point was an inline 6 with a 3-speed, turbo 350 trans, automatic, and you get this car anywhere close to 70, 80 miles an hour, and the whole back of the car feels like it wants to just leave the ground. And even the front end starts coming up. Like the whole car wants to get air above 70, 80 miles an hour.
Sounds unsettling.
What year is your Nova?
77.
77. I had a 75. I didn't have that problem, but I had the 4-door. It was super heavy.
Yeah, super. Well, they're not actually that much heavier, nor are they actually that much of a difference. It's that your 4-door shares the same floor as my 2-door.
Well, I didn't have much of a floor from Pennsylvania, so.
All right. The 4-door is exactly the same as the 2-door from the top of the windshield down and across the bottom of the floor all the way back. Until you get
I think
just
they did
above
it from 75 to 78. I think it was the same body style as well.
75 to 79.
79.
Trust me, that is I have the biggest 4th gen Nova Facebook page on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you say so, I'll believe you.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I've done
That
a
was
hell
my
of a
first
lot of
car.
research
Was a 75, but
I bought that car in 2007.
I bought my first car in 2001, of course. So
That wasn't my first
I would.
car. It was just my.
I'd love to have it back.
But yeah. So they show the same floor. It's everything above the floor that's different from the firewall back. But yeah, you wouldn't think a 4-door and the 2-door share exactly the same wheel length. They share everything exactly the same. It's the same floor.
Wow.
Interesting.
Just the front door is shorter, which lets them add a second door. And the windshield is a little more vertical. And obviously the back windshield, the back glass is also more vertical. So the roof line is different. But other than that, it shares the same, a lot of it.
When I first got the car, like I said, it's my first car. The Fast and the Furious movie came out, the first one.
Yep, it's in there.
So when everybody was leaving, I had it was pretty loud. It was straight six, but it was loud because it had bad exhaust leak. But yeah, it was cool then because of the movie. Everybody had the little, Hondas and stuff.
That wasn't a Nova either in that movie.
No, of course.
It was an
No,
Omega.
I was saying when I left the theater, I had the loud old car, and they had their Hondas.
But in that first movie, a 4th gen X body is in that first movie. The cars that he pulls up behind in the red truck outside the sandwich shop for the first time,
and the Lightning,
gold one, that gold one is an Olds Omega, which is a 4th gen X body, which is the same thing as the Nova. So the Nova, the Omega, the Vega, and because they actually spell out Nova, Nova, and the Apollo, I think. But yeah, it's NOVA, and it actually all 4 of the cars that share that X body platform spell out Nova.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, Pontiac changed it. It was the Vega at one point. It was the Ventura, and I think it was also the Phoenix at one point.
You think they'll ever make a Nova again?
No.
And if they do, they'll butcher it like Dodge did with the Charger and the Challenger.
Yeah,
or Chevy did with the Blazer.
Chevy, the already.
I don't want to talk about that.
That trend has already gone out to the wayside. I mean, you look at it. The Camaro is not doing anywhere near as well as it did. The Ford Mustang, I think, is even also laxing a little bit. The only one that's still going strong is Dodge, because Dodge keeps throwing more horsepower out of it. And they're not changing. They're also not changing it away from the reason why people fell in love with those new retro cars to begin with.
Sure.
Both Chevy and Mustang both did.
We'll see how that new Ford Bronco does.
Yeah. I mean, that's again, it's still retro. It looks. Yeah. I mean, granted, they did a really shit job, just like the Raptor with engine choice.
Well, it's got a bunch of technology in it. So.
Yes, I know. Well, just wait for some people to throw some V8s in them, and then they'll actually be what they should be.
Yeah.
Well, the torque is supposed to be really good on them too. I haven't.
Don't care.
Looked at one obviously, but
don't care. But I mean, you look at the reason why is the Camaro and the Mustang not doing as well. They went away from the reason why people were flocking to them to begin with. You went away from the retro look. It's what people were after.
Yeah, they made it more rounded, kind of.
They made it more modern car-y looking, and it's not what people wanted out of that car.
Well, the new Mustang, it
looks cool. I've
seen it. Not the new one. What was it? It was a 16 or a 17, which is a newer. I seen it one time, and from this front, from the angle I seen it as, I thought it was a Taurus.
And do you know where the Taurus got its lines from?
I'm sure it got it from the Mustang, right?
No. Aston Martin.
Oh.
The Tauruses and all of those cars started looking like that when Ford bought Aston Martin.
Well, I know the Fusion did for sure.
Yeah. They stole their body lines from the Aston Martin. And I said that from the very beginning. Now, I'm not saying I don't like the new Mustang, which I think is the S550. I think that's the body style they're going with for that new one. I don't know why you're asking me that. I don't care. My phone says I need your consent for something. I'm like, no, you don't. You're denied. But yeah, it got away from the lines that people were after. Now, again, like I said, I'm not saying that they don't look good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the new Mustang when I first saw it. It's grown on me. I wouldn't mind having one now. But if you look at the one from 2005 to the one, it looks dated.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, they still look good if they're done upright.
Dodge Challenger hasn't really changed a damn thing from the time it came out.
Hadn't much changed at all. There's some new technology here and there as far as Bluetooth and stuff.
And you know what? It's because
that's about it.
That's because out of all three, which one hit the nail on the head closest to the classic car?
Oh, definitely Challenger.
Oh yeah, and that's why it still freaking sells like hotcakes.
You know, Mustang did it first. I'll give them that.
And they did really good. Their first version of the Mustang.
Hell, they even kept the good
really
old-fashioned live axle.
One, but not enough.
Right.
It still did not look like a classic car. And yeah, they got some of it, but they missed on a lot of it.
One Camaro was real smart. They attached it to that movie, before it came out. Yeah.
What?
They attached it to the movie before it even came out, so people were already in a buzz about the Camaro.
The Transformers movie.
Yeah, the Transform movies.
Yeah, and the thing is yeah, and they actually have that scene where they should have went from a '60s Camaro to the new one instead of going with an '80s Camaro. Or
Oh, I thought it was '78.
No,
it's the late '70s.
It was late '70s.
They still had that body style up to '82.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's some differences, but yeah, I had a 81.
It's just like this thing.
Car shows
this thing, I can pretty much convert this all the way back to a 70 if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some work. Like I'd have to readjust the back window because in 65 and in 75, 76, they changed from the flat back glass to the wraparound to where it comes around to the side. The tail pan would definitely have to be changed. But there's been only slight differences from 70 all the way up to 82. And same with the Camaro. I mean, you're going to have some slight differences for when they did the facelift and all of that stuff.
I thought all the Camaros look good except for that 94 to 97 body style, that bubble crap.
No, that's actually that's all the way from 93. 93 up to 2000.
And I know 99 to 01 they changed it a little bit. It's still the kind of same style, but it's a little less bubbly and more a little more aggressive.
It was 98 to 2002.
I didn't mind them as much, but yeah, that 93, I guess.
Well, I mean, and that's like me. It's like I know that the F bodies are basically the same thing. The Camaro and the Firebird share the same body. They only share so much of it, though.
Right.
I can swap doors on a Camaro versus a Firebird, but I can't swap a rear quarter. I could swap roofs. Technically, I can swap front fenders too.
Did you see Peanut Butter Falcon?
Mm-mm.
It's a pretty good movie. You should watch it. It's on Amazon, I think. But it's I know you deal with some special needs and stuff where you work, so it's kind of going along that lines. But they have I believe it's just a Firebird. But I was like, why'd they take the T-tops out? Anyway, they had a T-top, but then they took the T out of it. It's like Target.
They have those.
Oh, so they actually had a Target top then, I guess.
It was done after the factory. It was normally a dealer.
Like a dealer thing? Yeah.
It looked
weird.
If you had a car that didn't have a factory T-top, you could have an aftermarket company. There was several of them back in that time period that would put a T-top in your car. The factory ones were Fisher, and I think the other one was, I'm not going to say the other one because I can't remember what it is. But there was if Chris was here, he'd be killing me. But there was two factory ones, and then there was American T-tops, and another one that begins with a C, that were done, that were whatever. And one of them was they cut the whole top from the roof, from the windshield back to the B pillar. They cut it all out, and there was an aluminum bar that ran from the center of the body up to the windshield. And the T-tops went all the way across and met in the middle. Versus the I think it's Hurst. I want to say it's Hurst, but I might be wrong. But that and Fisher, they didn't meet. There was like a 4 to 6 inch gap, depending on which brand it was and what year, between where the T-tops didn't meet, because they had a brace that ran there in the T-top cars.
Yeah.
But like I said, the aftermarket ones, they didn't have that. Some of them that went all the way across, it was still a two-piece glass. It met in the middle, but it met all the way in the middle. And then there was, I think there might have been one company that was a full Targa. But yeah, those cars leaked horribly because there was no structure to them. In fact, the factory T-tops always leaked as well because, again, no structure. You'll see a lot of people that have T-top cars put a full roll cage in the car. It's to brace the whole car up. Because there was a lot of
braces that doesn't flex when you run over a mosquito.
Yeah. The fact actually the engine would twist that car up.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the 400s and stuff would literally twist those cars up on the T-top. The first hard launch, you'd be lucky if you could ever get your T-tops to seal again.
Jeez.
A lot of torque in those cars back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I don't know if that was my phone that went off or somebody else's.
No, it's mine. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I plan on converting my car to a T-top if I ever get back to it that far. I mean, the plan with that car is to get it on the road and drive it while I do the Nova. Because I didn't want to touch I wanted to wait in case my YouTube channel blew up a little more and I'd have a little bit more freedom to play with the Trans Am and do it the way I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Well, and if your channel's making money, good money.
It's making money. It ain't making good money right now.
Right. Then you can, have a little more freedom.
And you might also have a little bit more connections with people in the industry and be able to have access to different things. And I'm not saying nothing would be free, but you'd have a little bit more play and a little bit more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different story than when you're small. I mean, even just look at Goon Squad. Even Send It Steve now. Look at the stuff he was doing back then versus now. I mean, he's got sponsors with now. I'm not saying he doesn't pay for his stuff, but he's getting at least some sort of cut or deal with like that off-road suspension company that he's dealing with now.
And the bumpers and
even before that, and this all started back with his Corvette when he was having things with Texas Speed and that turbo company, Huron Turbos or whatever. He wasn't getting that shit for free, but he was getting a pretty decent discount off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then I don't know if y'all guys watch Junkyard Digs.
He's the one with the Dodge Charger Magnum thing.
No, that's
Junkyard Dave.
Junkyard Digs revives old cars and stuff. Vice Grip Garage and other people.
Vice Grip Garage I've heard of. I don't know about Junkyard Digs.
Well, he started small, of course, and he's getting a lot bigger now and quicker. But he has a tool company, Tang or something like that.
Yeah.
They gave him full toolboxes and stuff. Yeah. So
I mean, it's just the same thing going on when he just started getting big with that brand that he has. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but then I'm horrible with things anyway. But he has a deal with that tool company. He has a deal with Corsa, just like Street Speed has a thing with Corsa. But I mean, Goon Squad has had deals all over the place where they've done the Armatrex exhaust. They've done that whole Jeep truck build that they did. That was almost basically fully sponsored. Most of it was sponsored with sponsored parts. Sense a lot of transmission problems with twin turbos. His problems, it was Send It Steve at least, with the twin turbos with the Huron Speed. His were more of just trying to run 700-800 horsepower through a stock 5th gen Corvette.
Yeah.
It was that they only had 300-400 horsepower back then. You're doubling the horsepower with a stock trans. You're gonna go through a few of them, especially hard launching them on a freaking on a sticky track with sticky tires. Those axles in that transmission are not going to be happy.
The wheels.
Huh?
Not like it can just spin.
Yeah, he didn't have a problem with it when he was on the street. When he took it to the drag strip is when he kept breaking it.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the money back then either. I mean, yeah, the only reason he was able to make that content was because he was getting those parts from those companies, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to do that. He would have had a stock 4.0. I mean, a stock 6.0. He would have been still making decent power, but nothing crazy like that.
Right, that's a big difference.
You know, at that point, he was running that channel squarely off of his own meat and potatoes. I mean, that channel at that point was literally putting food on his kids' plates. And if he didn't make it content, his kids didn't have food. Because he was working for a used car thing of his own accord, and he dropped that to go full-time YouTube because he couldn't do both.
Well, and I'm glad it worked out for him. I mean, he's killing it right now.
Oh yeah, he's killing it because he is doing everyday people stuff. And
well, and he's constant with it, which is a big thing. If you do it, once a month, it's a big difference than if you're doing it twice a week.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, he's also not doing it super, super crazy to where he can't keep up his family either.
Sure.
You know, he takes hiatuses. He takes a couple days off. He does that. Because that's another thing a lot of YouTubers make the big mistake of doing is they set themselves a goal where they're freaking constantly uploading. Well, A, you're going to burn yourself out of content.
Well, and
B, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah, that's like right now I've got so much going on with the car lot. I could post something every day for sure, easy. But
then when it slows down.
Yeah, well, yeah, and hopefully it won't. I don't think it will. But
right, but if it slows down, you're not going to have that content. But not to mention, you're going to get yourself burnt out making content.
Well, and I just don't want to put something out there just to put it out there.
Right, exactly.
I want to put it out there because I want to put it out there.
Right. I mean, geez, look at how long it took me.
Sort.
And I can't even say that the dishwasher video I necessarily super wanted to put out there. In case you don't know, I did just put up a new video. But it was something that I knew will eventually take off.
Sure, whenever people find what they're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, it's not doing crap.
It's not out.
But then again, a lot of my how-to videos do absolutely dick shit when they first get put out. It's months later that they take off.
The only ones that do real well for me right out the bat, or right out the gate anyway, are cooking videos.
Well, cooking or drama.
I don't have any drama videos. So.
Well, even if it's not even intentional. You bought a vehicle and it blew up on you the second day and you make a video about it. It's going to do a lot better than the video of you fixing it.
Yeah.
Sure.
People are always looking for...
That's the way people are. People live vicariously, and they feed off of, negativity and drama. That's what people do. It's exciting. That's why TNT has been a thing since, the fucking 90s.
Well, let's see. I put out one cooking video, and that day had over 5,000 views. Wow. I put out a video today, and 13 views. So, it is what it is.
It all depends on what it is and what it got to take, who takes off with it.
Right.
And it's a crapshoot. You can spend $0 on a video and it freaking blows up like crazy. You spent no time on it, didn't even think it was ever going to do anything. So you didn't put any of your normal BS of promoting yourself or whatever into it.
Right.
And it blows up. You're like, damn it, I could have put a freaking t-shirt ad in that video and I would have freaking had whatever. And then you'll have other videos where you do everything right. You check all the boxes. You make the Google Analytics fucking cream its pants.
Right. Make sure to hit the right title and everything, and then
and it does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I have spent hundreds of dollars on a single video, and it does nothing. And I have spent no money. Literally, no money.
You had one that did well with zip ties.
Yeah, 3 zip ties and a couple minutes of time.
Hey.
I get a lot of hate on that video. People telling me I should use the right tool and that, I'm doing it wrong and all this other shit. And then I have other people that absolutely fucking love it. So I don't really care. I made the video. It cost me absolutely dick crap. And it's been making me freaking, nickels and dimes here and there for the last 2-3 years. I don't have to do anything of it. It sits there and just makes me money. Even though it's not a lot of money, it makes me money.
Better than nothing.
Right, exactly. It gets constant views. I mean, it's getting 1,100
in 48 hours.
No, 11,000 minutes watch time every month.
I mean, that's good.
For a 4-minute video.
Oh, that's really good for 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's not long. It's not long, and it makes me. It just keeps going. Now, like my truck video with the heater core, it gets 30,000 minutes watch time during the cold months, and it'll
Sure.
drop to
Oh,
6 or
yeah.
7,000
During the when they
hot
don't need it.
months.
Well, it's kind of like I've got one where I took a lawnmower and the string broke, and I showed how to
Yeah,
restring it.
that'll get busy during the summer, and
In the summer and spring, and in the winter and fall, it's like I'm
dead.
telling you, it's like 3 views. I mean, it's
dead.
nothing.
Nobody needs it.
Like this month right now, I think it's sitting at like 3,000 views every month or something.
I can pull it up. I mean, so like, and the thing is yeah, I can go in different times of the year in these videos. Now I have some videos that will be the same all year round.
I haven't got one of them videos. Well, I do. I got a cooking video that does that. It's
if I were to
how to
go
cook pork loin from
Right.
frozen in a Instant Pot or something like that. Just something I was doing, so I'm like, I'll make a video on it, and it stays constant throughout the year.
So if I go down here,
Hank
There's always
the
people
Mean
trying
Man
to
has
cook
joined
something.
us. Yeah.
so top
Especially for
videos
frozen.
for the last 28 days. Top
How's it
one
going,
is,
Hank the Mean Man?
Top one is quick and easy GM door spring hack, sitting at and this is in minutes watch time, 11,958.
Wow.
Second one, GM steering column teardown. I tore the steering column down to replace the lock cylinder because I put all new. I brand new keyed the whole TA.
Yeah.
So I had to tear it apart because the lock cylinder in the TA it failed, and so I replaced all the locks in the whole car. And I tore it down. I replaced. I think I replaced like the turn signal clickers and stuff like that. Just the stuff that you know that's going to wear and break. I replaced all that stuff. So I tore that down. That one gets 8,372, and it hangs about there between 6,000 to 8,000 pretty much all year.
Mm-hmm.
Quick and easy Ram 1500 heater core replacement sitting at 7,477 minutes watch time. Hey Hank, welcome aboard. And again, that one jumps really high. Like if I were to go to December of last year, 34,517. So 5 or 7 times what it's making now. And last year wasn't necessarily its best year.
Well, I'm sure that does really good up north where they call stuff radiators. Is that how you said it earlier? Radiator?
Radiators. I
funny.
switch back and forth.
Yeah, he says it anyway.
Oh, okay. I was
Any and
giggling
every way.
earlier when you said
I
radiator.
say Earl, I say
Like, oh,
Earl. It all depends on where I'm at and what I'm feeling.
Hmm.
I grew up in an area that spoke it both ways. So potato.
Sure.
You know, we're in that Pennsylvania Dutch-ish area where you have a mixture of Pennsylvania Dutch and German, well, and Irish, and you know a bunch of other right here in this area. So you get a bunch of people speaking different things. We're close enough to Philly to get the city talk, but yet close enough to the mountains to get mountain talk. So then I have the thermostat video. It also sits around 7,000 minutes watch time. That one it's about the same all year round. Though I think it picks up a little bit more in the winter because those cars came with the fail open thermostats. So you really don't notice it too much during the summer like you would have in my Nova. Because in my Nova, when that failed, you would overheat like a bitch. These newer cars, they just never come up to temperature.
Yeah.
So you don't really notice it too much until wintertime when you want to use the heater and it never gets warm enough for it to blow any hot air. Then there's another one that literally cost me nothing. Simple classic GM wiper arm removal. Ed has gotten about 3,000 minutes of watch time every month for the last 7 years.
Which is crazy. You think anybody could figure that out without YouTube?
No,
but
it's a pain in the ass. It's not the whole. It's the wiper arm. And back then, GM, you had to lift the wiper arm up, and then there was a little clip you had to slide out, and then you had to wiggle it up off of the stud.
Oh, yeah.
People can never find the clip.
Well, and then they had the ones after that that had the screw. You had to unscrew it and then wiggle it off. And you know, I guess, you're right. I guess people couldn't find the clip. But
and the thing
if you make a how-to video, people will watch it.
Right, and the thing is that video, that ranges everything from trucks all the way up into the 80s. Like the S10 used that same system. All the way back to the 60s, they used that same method.
But I'd ask you this. If you went and looked, I bet you get less subscribers on that video than other videos.
The thing is okay, I get less than 5% of my total views are from subscribers. And the thing is, since I haven't been putting out regular, I don't know, quote unquote automotive vlog videos, like basically the diary of what's going on in my garage. So ever since then, I used to be at like 10% when I was putting out those videos like 2 or 3 times a month. But since I've only been doing the live streams, my viewer by subscriber is down to anywhere from 3 to 6%.
Let's see. My watch time from subscribers is 3.1%, and then non-subscribed is 96.9.
Okay. Not subscribed, 95.3. Subscribed is 4.7.
Wow.
Now, if I were to go back to,
for me, I know that's because the ones that get watched are my how-to videos.
Okay, so that's view duration. That's not what I wanted. There we go. This is what I want. So if I go back a year ago, that was about the same a year ago. I'm going to go back further, because about a year ago is when I stopped putting videos out constantly. Well, if I go lifetime, no, lifetime's about the same too. 2018, it was a little higher, but I was pumping out content. But yeah, it's amazing what analytics will show you. GM wiper clip was integrated. In fact, Sedona never seems to come up to temp. If the Kia Sedona never comes up to temp, I would really think about looking into your freaking thermostat.
I just bought a Kia Rio the other day at the auction, and it only had like 69,000 miles on it. Them things are pretty nice. I mean,
Kia Forte.
It's a base car. Kia Forte GT. I haven't heard of that one yet. Is that one of them 2-door Kia Fortes?
I don't know.
With a coupe with a K?
I have no idea.
Yeah, them things are kind of hard to find. The Kia Forte coupes. They're kind of neat.
Never seen one. And again, I haven't been really looking at Kia Fortes.
You would notice if you seen it. You'd say, "What is that?" Oh,
Jess
Kia.
wanted. I think it was a Kia Forte.
They're nice cars.
Is that the one that's based off of the new Kia Soul platform?
I think they're all based off the Kia Soul platform, aren't they?
No, the Kia Soul originally was off of the Rio chassis.
I was gonna say I bought this Rio and it's just like the Kia Soul.
2014 or 15, I think they switched to the Forte.
Gotcha.
So when they went to that new body style, the more slanted roof.
There you go, Desiree.
What?
Mustang says we're not just a Kia family.
No, she got a like a first gen retro Mustang.
Sweet.
The 05 to whatever the hell they changed it. She's got a convertible 6.
You know, them are, as long as you take care of them are some good cars. And I've seen a bunch of junk ones out there now. People just, of course, not taking care of them. And
yeah,
but they're still, I still think it was a good body style. It still is.
Yeah, I like.
You can make them look neat. You can make it look good.
I just take out that motor, put in a Coyote.
Put in that new 4-cylinder that they have.
No.
Hey, the things are pretty impressive.
Hey! I hold the power to make you go poof.
Yes, but if you haven't driven one, you would be very impressed.
Yeah.
They have stupid power for a 4-cylinder.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Kia Soul has stupid power for a 4-cylinder.
No.
Granted,
Kia
it's
Soul
stupid
has
power
what,
in a really light
160
package,
horsepower?
But, huh?
The Kia Soul has what, 160, 200
No,
horsepower
200
maybe?
something.
All right.
Okay.
Well, the new
Now
Mustang,
let me explain
the new
this to you.
Mustang
The
4-cylinder has over
4-cylinder in
300.
my Kia has 200 and some horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
That car there has 200
Yeah.
and some horsepower.
Well, I'm sure the Pontiac's more fun to drive because you feel it more.
Well, it's got almost 500 foot-pounds of torque to that 200 and some horsepower.
Right. Well, same thing with the Mustang. Yeah, it's a 4-cylinder, but it gets 300 and something horsepower, and then it also has a pretty good amount of torque too for a 4-cylinder. I'm telling you, it impressed me.
You're losing
Which
me at 4 cylinders.
for a Mustang is hard to do because I'm not a huge Mustang fan. Said there's a very clean convertible. Yeah.
Sean, you and Brian can swap the motor, but for a good one, LOL. However, my car is still the shit. I am not swapping the motor in that freaking Ford unless it makes me money on YouTube.
I probably said it on here before. People used to rent the upgraded Mustangs from Hertz.
Yeah, just to play
and
with
they
them.
would swap in
swap the
the
engines
base
out of
one.
them.
Yeah, back in the day, and then drive them back. So
and really, the thing is you can't really tell too much. I mean, there isn't much difference between like a 6.0 LS and a 5.3 liter.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the what is it? Even the smaller one. What's the smaller one?
4.8.
Yeah, the 4.8. There isn't
Yeah, it's all
much
the same
difference.
block,
You
it's
mean
just different
and the
stroke and
computer
bore.
still plugs and plays. You know,
Sure.
you can literally pull the motor out, put the new one in, and you don't even have to change any of the harness shit.
As Ray said, you can film, and I guess you need some more YouTube content.
I
Throw our
need a
motor
better
in.
garage. Fucking. Oh.
You're telling me, man, I'm doing stuff out on my dang driveway here
Yeah, and
in
I'm here
92
spoiled.
degree
You've seen the
weather
garage
with
that I was,
100 degree humidity or
the garage that
100%
I'm in
humidity.
had no insulation and no heat and no air conditioning, and it is
Well,
dark.
aren't you just
If you've ever
deprived?
seen it, it's dark. I've made it work
See,
because it
Hank.
is better than doing it on the driveway. If I had my way, I'd go in there and clean it out because it's filled with just I hate to say it, old people collection of crap that he's probably never going to ever use again. Just shelves of stuff that just is it's a collection of crap. Stuff that's broken, stuff that he's not using, and I've already told him that it's one of the reasons why I haven't taken the Nova there is because for me to take the Nova in there, it's not going to move. So I have to have somewhere where I can push it off to the side so it's not in front of the main door. So that way he can still use it for him and my girl's brother to be able to use it for car stuff. They had a holy shit fit when my truck was stuck in there for a while. Because there were several times where they needed the garage and my stuff, and my car was literally just sitting in there. Oh, what's going on here? All right, see you later, Hank. I'm more of a fan of the 71, 73. Yes, I love the 71 to 73 Mustang. In fact, there is one right there.
Speaking of that, remember when you were talking about the Eleanor thing?
Yeah.
Donut Media finally did a story on that.
Yeah, they did. I saw that too.
And then there's my other one I have.
I guess you beat him to it.
There was a lot of people that beat him to it. I wasn't the first one to do it either.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Speaking of, where is it?
Oh, you gotta trash it now, man.
No, unfortunately, it's not the car's fault. And I
No,
bought
it's
that
not.
before then. Let's see what else I got. I got Kit. I got Kit right there. Chevelle, GTO.
Do you have a
Other
DeLorean?
Chevelle. What?
Do you have a DeLorean?
Do I have a? No, I don't.
You gotta get DeLorean, man.
I know. I had a Batmobile too, but that's gone. I had the good one. I had the Hot Wheels 1/18 scale first edition model they did. I know that they've released it again recently. It's not exactly the same tooling. In fact, it's nowhere near as good as the original one was, but it is the same tooling, but it's not done exactly the same. They have like battle scar paints on it, but it's like just like really really cheap graphic like silk screened bullet holes and stuff. It doesn't look good. It literally looks like somebody rubbed up against it with an interior door or something and rubbed off the interior house paint on it. Does not look like a true battle scarred car at all. Yes, the original Eleanor was a yellow 73 boss. Though I think my favorite Mustang of all time is the original Mach 1.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite. Though I also do love the mustard yellow Trans Am series Mustang. What was it, number 15? Forget who drove it. I've driven that car a lot in Forza when we did the Trans Am series in Forza.
Yeah.
I used to drive that Mustang. And then I also used to drive the Challenger, the 77.
I remember when we did that thing. Who the fuck was it who just blew through the fucking pits that one time?
No idea. But we used to do this Forza series where we would set the cars up as close to what they would be in number one, to try to set them up as equal as possible, all the classic cars in Forza.
Yeah.
And it had to have been a car that actually raced in the Trans Am series. So you couldn't drive you couldn't just drive any old car. It had to have been a car that raced in the Trans Am series. And it had to be a certain class. And I think we actually figured out how much horsepower and weight all of those cars were back in the day, what they had to be qualified as. And we tried to make it as close to that in the game as possible.
Yeah.
And we raced the shit out of those cars. That was fun.
Yeah, we did too.
And they were pretty close. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I would do it again, but our community of Forza players has dwindled as far as I know compared to what it used to be.
Yeah.
We need to do what's in the cup before I don't have anything in the cup anymore. I was hoping Chris would pop in, but I guess not. All right, so let's do what's in the cup. Biggie, what you got?
My good old fashioned citrus green tea.
Citrus green tea in the not Walmart cup.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got there, Cletus?
I'm empty of my Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh, for shame. Where was that waitress you were trying to hail down earlier?
Yeah, she gave me a bad look. I kind of just shook my cup and was like, didn't say anything. She gave me a bad look and walked off.
I can get that from I can get Jess to do it once in a while, but I'm not rude about it. It's more of her doing it out of politeness to me instead of me begging her to do it. She'll just notice that I need a drink and be like, "Hey, do you know whatever?" Because I'm getting her drinks all the time. But yeah, I just said earlier. I'm like, yeah, I know that look.
Well, she asked if I needed some water, so I think she's hinting I need water instead of Diet Mountain Dew. But.
Well, yeah, Jess is always is trying to get me away from drinking the Coca-Cola versus water or whatever. But then she bitches when I drink iced tea. Because I don't even drink iced tea. I drink, I'm not sure if you have Turkey Hill, or you might know what Turkey Hill is, because I don't think you're too far from me. But we have our mini market around here is Turkey Hill, and they have their own brand of iced tea, and they use, they have brewed tea. They don't have the powdered tea.
Yeah.
It's one of the few companies around here that actually have, mass-produced brewed tea. Like a lot of the ones around here use an instant tea as their base. But I drink green tea mango. I don't get the diet green tea, but it's green tea, which is still better for you than black tea, which is what regular iced tea is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and recently I've been drinking Snapple Apple. Because, oh my god, does that not just taste like you just drank an apple? Not like an apple juice, but like you bite into like a red delicious apple. Just that it almost has that same like dry crispness to it.
Yeah.
2002 4-cylinder Mustang says 310 horsepower and of course my shit's in the way. 350 foot-pounds of torque. So
yeah, I was just looking
it
that
has
up.
the same power as a late 60s 350.
But this is the 4-cylinder.
Yes, I know. Again, let's take a late 60s. Let's take a. You know what? Take a late 60s small block Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
Give it computerized fuel injection. Tuned. How much power do you think it would actually make?
No idea. Sure, it'd do pretty good.
I'm sure it would do pretty good too, because you got to think what was limiting to what they could make in horsepower was the fact that they had a fixed set carburetor sitting on top of them and a fixed set timing.
You know, speaking of carburetors, I bought a 96 Dodge Ram the other day.
Yeah.
For the car lot, of course. And I was working on it, doing spark plugs and stuff. And I noticed it had a Holley throttle body on it. And I looked it up. Apparently, it comes stock on the 5.2 liter.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, must have been a special edition or.
That 96 to 99, I guess that's how they did it. The 5.2 liter.
Yeah.
It just came with it.
The 5.2 is the 318.
It's a good engine.
Because that was what was in my original green truck was the 318.
This is a green truck as well.
The second engine that I threw in it actually came out of a Durango.
Oh.
The one,
you know,
which I never got to finish telling that story. If you guys want to hear it, I can.
Go for it.
But yeah, that was like I said. Back in the day, I had that 2001 1500 with the 5.2 liter, and it blew up on my way down to Tennessee. It just started like I was just having to give it more and more and more gas, and it just was going less and less and less until it just stopped. Didn't know big bang, no nothing.
Engines.
It just stopped. It just locked up. And by the way, sneak peek, what's in the cup?
Guinness.
Good thing I wasn't giving any points because you don't need any. All right, what's the backup after that one Guinness is empty? Do you know?
Ooh.
And it's not this Guinness that's sitting back here still full, because this one's warm.
Some kind of cider, I'd say.
That's not a correct answer.
No Angry Orchard, huh?
Well, is that what you're saying? Is that your final answer, or is it some kind of cider?
Well, I thought Angry Orchard is cider.
It's not some kind of cider.
Yeah, I would say Angry Orchard.
Yes, that's sitting there. I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight, but because it's 11:11.
I gotta start wait till you start doing points for them now.
Right? We get rid of what's in the cup because I don't think anybody answered it in the comments. You guys are supposed to answer that in the comments too. You're supposed to let us know what you're all enjoying for the evening, whether it's a Coke or a bottle of water or an adult beverage.
Well, Desiree said Brian has Yuengling. I guess that's a beer.
What? Yuengling. Or a far pack. Oh, yeah. That's it's Yuengling. It's what I normally drink. The problem is it's not 2 words. It's 1.
Oh.
Anyhow, so I'm on my way down to Tennessee. We had just left. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning in the middle of March, and it's cold. And apparently, Biggie is starting his own manufacturing company.
Oh.
Steam has just freaking ratted you out.
Steam is such a narc.
And there's a cat at my feet. Don't look at me all indignant because you decided to lay on top of my feet. So I just left. We spent the night in a hotel. We just left, getting ready to do the last 4-hour leg of my trip. and we get out, and it dies on the side of the road. Now, it's like 30 degrees outside. There's snow on the ground. And we're in a dead truck. Obviously, no heat because the engine's not running. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Start calling around trying to see who could come down and rescue us. Because we're not getting anywhere. We're stuck on the side of the highway. And the closest person, obviously, was all the way back up by Reading. That was a 3 or 4 hour drive from where we were at.
Oof.
So by the time they get down to us, it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We've been sitting in this truck on the side of the road since then. And we had to travel another hour down the road to go to the closest U-Haul that would have a big enough trailer to load that truck up on. And the guys that came down to come pick us up also had a Dodge Ram Sport. So they had the one with the body colored bumpers and the ground effects kit,
Yeah.
the nicey sporty one. But it should have been big enough to haul my truck.
Sure.
The problem is when we got to the U-Haul place to go hook up the trailer to his truck, his trailer harness connection wouldn't work. The lights wouldn't light up on the trailer. So then I had to go rent an actual U-Haul. So I had to rent a U-Haul to pull the U-Haul trailer to pull my truck on. Now, the other thing we had to do is I had to lie. I had to lie about how big my truck was.
Yeah.
Because the 2000 Dodge Ram short bed single cab would fit on this trailer. Unfortunately, the extended cab 6-foot bed was too long, according to U-Haul saying that it would fit on that trailer. So I had to lie. I had to tell them that it was a single cab short bed. Now we get the hour back up. Now remember, we had to go an hour down, go pick up the truck and the trailer, travel over an hour back up the other direction. So we had to go past where the truck was to get up to the next exit. Come down the exit, so we were coming down the same thing. And then we had to load this truck up onto this trailer, and we didn't even know if the truck would run. We had no winch. We just had the trailer. Luckily, since the truck cooled down since then, it fired up and it drove its ass. It drove its own ass. It hauled its ass up onto this trailer. The tires were so wide on this truck that they were up on the edge of the trailer. They were not down on the bed of the trailer. And the back tire was literally the half of the the tire's round, right? So the very edge of the tire that would still be contacting the ramp, so the center of the back tire was at the very edge of the back of the ramp.
Ooh.
The tire was not all the way up on the ramp. Half the tire was off. So we ended up putting this. I said, "Fuck it, we're doing it. I don't care." Like I said, if I had the tires on it that I have on my 1500 now, I guarantee you it will not fit on that trailer. Because I was running 31 by 10 and a halves.
Mm-hmm.
I am now running a 33 12 and a half.
Oh dear.
It would not have
It's a lot
fit.
wider.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound much wider, but it is actually a lot wider.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's an extra 5 inches wider total.
Yeah.
If you were to go from side to side. Not to mention tire height itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody was asking you. Shut up. Go away. Nobody's asking you. Go to sleep. So I ended up strapping the rear axle to the front of the trailer. So basically just shoving this truck all the way up to the front of the trailer because it has a stop at the front. So we just shoved the truck as far forward as we can and ratcheted it strapped to the front. And then, of course, I ratchet strapped the tires over and then down.
I bet you didn't get over 50 miles an hour, did you?
Yeah, we did. We went highway speed in a U-Haul with a truck on the back of it that was too big for the trailer. Because it was now like 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. and I still needed to make it home. Remember, 4-hour trip home. We rolled in at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And, probably didn't even freaking take the truck off the trailer. We just left it parked in their front lawn. We took to a buddy of mine's house that had a garage because I was living in the middle of Reading at that point and couldn't do what this truck needed. Because number one, we needed to find out what was wrong with the truck first and then be able to fix it. Which I had already made phone calls that night looking for a motor, which we found somebody had just gotten a hold of a Dodge Durango and was parting it out. Still had the engine, so I bought it for like $150.
Them Durangos didn't do very well, so yeah, there's plenty of engines out there.
It met its fate into a tree.
Oh dear.
A tree to the face ended its life. So the whole bunch of that Durango was just fine.
So
it was a 2001. It was when the Durangos were really nice looking, when they looked like Dodge.
Well, I don't know about that. They kind of look ugly to me.
I love the Durangos. I like the Durangos.
You can buy them all day here for $500-$600.
Yeah, the older ones.
Go running and driving, no problem.
Yeah, I would just drop a 5.9 in it. Different injectors. I'm gonna tell you that right off. Different injectors. A little bit of a different harness.
So what ended up being wrong with that engine that you had to pull out?
Lack of oil. The oil temp pressure sending unit or whatever was not working correctly in it, and apparently it was burning oil. And then didn't know when you're going down. Like, it was fine cruising around town, but hauling ass down the highway for hours on end, a lot of blow by. Ended up running itself out of oil.
I gotta watch my truck in the winter because when it gets really cold out and I first go to start it up, it burns oil like no tomorrow.
Not the blue ones. Just don't get the blue ones.
Damn. Now the best size would be a 2-inch, but obviously it's whatever the trailer calls for.
The best size is whatever size your trailer is.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the best
most
size. Most
common is probably 2-inch.
Well, I get the combinations. I don't have just one combination. I have 2 or 3 hitches that are underneath the back seat of my truck.
Well, I've got
you would definitely
one of my trailers is a 1.78, and I got one trailer that's a 2, and then my tow dolly is a 2 1/4. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just have all 3.
That's what I do too.
And then I just have your best thing is to get a 2-inch receiver though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go any smaller than a 2-inch receiver.
Yeah. Unless you get a car that has
unless
smaller.
You have a car, where you're only pulling a little tiny freaking
little luggage trailer.
Foot. Yeah, little 3 foot cubic trailer. Well, that was why you gave you a trick answer, but then there you go. But yeah, so it ended up being the bottom end let go. The bearings.
Spun bearing.
Out. Yeah, it locked the bearings up. I pulled the engine out, kept the intake and all of that stuff because the Durango has a different intake. Their air cleaner comes out the other side. Everything's just wrong on the top end. The bottom end's all the same. So I ended up just swapping the whole intake off of it. Kept the fuel rails off my original truck. Basically.
So with all that, you didn't have to switch your wire harness or none of that then?
No, because I just swapped everything from my old engine onto that one.
Nice.
It was still a 5.2, so. Yeah. Then I ended up getting the brown 01 with the 5.9 in it, and I'm like, well, damn. This thing just freaking, it's not even, it's night and day.
The 5.2s are good, and I'm going to say something now that up there is probably unheard of, but down here it's pretty common. That 96 I bought has 338,000 miles on it. Still strong.
My 01 has 270.
Oh, okay. I told my buddy, he lives up in Michigan, I told him that, and he's like, oh, man, that car's been dead. I'm like, no.
No, Dodge Ram.
They go forever down here.
There's
no rust on it.
It goes through like 7 transmissions before it goes through an engine.
This one's been, the one I got out here was a 1 owner, and that guy has never put a transmission in it, but he's had all the maintenance for when it.
I was going to say, because what normally happens is the solenoids go. You don't normally have to replace the transmission. But most people replace the transmission because they don't know how to open it up and replace the solenoids.
Right. Well, he's been doing the transmission fluid every 90,000 miles, so
it's not the transmission.
He's kept it up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is you know what you don't do with the transmission if the transmission fluid hasn't been changed.
What's that?
You don't change the transmission fluid.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Because the second you change the transmission fluid, that transmission will fail.
Yeah, all the friction material suspended in that fluid. When you get rid of that, friction material.
Yeah, it lets go.
Clutches don't have something to grab onto.
Yeah,
well,
it just slips.
It's everything. It's like it's had that transmission for so long. When you end up trying to clean it, it knocks too much shit loose. And either it's the fact that clutch material is in the fluid and it's helping it grip. But the other part is you end up knocking dirt loose, and it goes in and clogs stuff. And then you end up with problems. Not to mention, new transmission fluid is a lot thinner, and a lot of the times parts wear, and then that thicker, older fluid ends up, not slipping because of the fact that it fills more of that void.
Well, in the older vehicles I buy, because I buy plenty of older vehicles because I got to buy them cheap to sell them. I don't even put, if it's a little bit low on transmission fluid, I don't even put transmission fluid in there. I put a little bit of Lucas in there to top it off, and I'll call it even.
Yep.
It seems to do good.
It does. It will for a while. The other thing you can do is in the engine put in Marvel Mystery Oil. Put a quart of it, let it run for a little while, and then change the oil.
Yeah. Did it work good?
It cleans out the engine.
I've been using that.
Transmission, you want to clean out the engine.
I've been using some kind of engine cleaner crap at Walmart, and then I just go back with
use a quart of Marvel Mystery Fluid, and it's almost basically like transmission fluid. It's just a high detergent oil.
Breaks it all up for you and takes it
breaks up all the freaking sludge and stuff and cleans it out.
Well, some of these older cars I've been buying have plenty of sludge. I need to do a video on it. Maybe I'll use Marvel Mystery.
But the thing with the Dodge Trans is you have to adjust the nuts on the outside of the transmission to tighten those bands up. And most people don't do that. That's actually part of the maintenance for those. Not just changing the fluid.
The bands get stretched, I'd guess?
Well, clutch material wears out of them. And as the clutch material wears out of them, you have to tighten them. And there's a whole procedure of how you have to do it. And every time you change your transmission fluid, you have to adjust those bands. And people don't do it, and then they end up wondering why they have transmission problems with those trucks. So between the fact that the solenoids are finicky and like to fail, some of them will never fail.
Right.
But a lot of them fail. In fact, that's why you buy your solenoids off of Borg Warner, because they will test the solenoids before they ship out. That's why they ship out with transmission fluid in them.
Well, and I guess that's why I've always heard that Dodge had troublesome transmissions.
Yeah, well, and then it's not necessarily the transmission's fault. It's just people don't know how to
just the way they maintain them.
Yeah, they're a little bit more than just checking to make sure it's got fluid.
Like the 2.7 liter engine that Chrysler used. Everybody says it's junk, and it is kind of junk. But as long as you kept your oil changed, you'd never have a problem.
Right.
But people would go too far between their oil changes, and that sludge builds up so quick in them engines that it doesn't last very long.
Nope.
You'd be lucky to get 100,000 miles out of them.
Yep. And then that sludge also retains heat. And blocks oil from getting back down into the crankcase.
Well, and I believe it's an engine aluminum block and everything too, or aluminum head, maybe that's what it was. I don't remember. It was something crazy like that.
They have an iron block and aluminum heads.
That's what it is. And then
because the temperature changes.
When it got hot, no matter how many head gaskets you put on, you'd never get it right. You have to replace the heads.
Right.
And then even then, sometimes it wouldn't seat. So.
Right, because they're just different. Aluminum heads, you almost always have to redeck them after you take them off. Iron heads are different. They tend to hold temperature changes a lot better.
Well, I guess that's the same problem they had with the Dodge Neon. The older ones.
You know what we used to do with the old iron blocks when you were going to go rebuild them? Throw them out in the field for a year. You know why?
Let the rust build up or something?
It's called seasoning them.
Oh,
It's letting them
like cast iron pan.
Yeah, well, no, seasoning a cast iron pan, you coat them in oil and then you bake them.
Well, I wasn't saying the
seasoning an
season the same
engine
way. I'm
is
saying you just had to
more
season.
of getting hot-cold cycles in them.
Mm-hmm.
It lets the engine take more abuse before. That's not for your everyday build. This is for your race car build.
Ah.
But yeah, you would leave it out in the field for like a year, and then you would take it to the machine shop and have it machined.
Owned and everything. That's crazy. I've never heard that.
I don't know if
It was only for the
true.
old iron block, so.
I don't know how true this is, but I heard like way back when, like when they first started using turbochargers in Formula One, the BMW team used like a tiny itty bitty 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that made like 1,500 horsepower, and that's how they did it. They would take old iron blocks out of road cars that they had, and they would just leave them behind the garage. It would tell employees to go, relieve themselves on it, leave it outside, and the stress, and they would only use engines that had over like 150,000 miles on them or something like that,
because
they've
they're
gone
less
through enough
likely
cycle to work those stresses out.
Wow.
They're less
And
likely
they
to
would make
fail for block failure.
1,500 horsepower in a little itty bitty 4-cylinder in a little itty bitty race car.
It
I
does
guess when they
something-
threw it at it, it wouldn't tear up as easy.
Yeah,
They didn't run them at that high of a horsepower for an entire race. That was just for qualifying, but still.
That's exactly the same. It is what they did. They used to throw old iron blocks out, and you would throw them out in the field for a while, and then you would go pick one and
pick them like you're taking an apple off a tree.
Yeah, basically, you'd leave them sit out there on a freaking crate out in the like a pallet.
I guess you'd go on and strip it down, take all the pistons out.
Oh yeah, everything's out. It's just the block.
Just the block itself. That makes more sense.
So I mean, that's what they did. I've had a few engines that were done that way. We just left them outside. Technically, the caddy motor I had, that's where it was sitting. It was sitting outside behind a barn for a while. Then it sat outside by my house for a while before I had it in the storage shed. The motor shouldn't say the motor that's in my car now, but the motor that is my coffee table. That's what it sat outside for a while before it got thrown in the car. Sat inside a tarp behind my back porch. It's actually kind of like what my engine's doing right now. It has no fluid in it, and it's sitting underneath the hood of my Nova with nothing but duct tape over the intake. There's no carburetor on it.
Hey, it's only stupid if it doesn't work.
Well, and that's the reason why I haven't taken the front end of that car apart. If I had known, if I had somewhere to put that engine, I would have pulled the engine out of it, and then I would have disassembled the front end. But there was no point in disassembling the front end because I needed the front end of that car to keep the rain out of the engine.
Yeah.
Oh, what time is it? It is 11:30. I think the only one hanging out with us in the chat anymore might possibly be Pilot. Maybe Desiree and Brian are still here, but I haven't heard anything in a little bit. I think that we're gonna call it a night. 2.5 hours. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for the donations. Definitely much appreciated. Yep, see, Desiree's still here. But we are going to get going. I do technically have work in the morning, and like to chill out and relax before bed. I haven't seen my girlfriend all day because she's been stuck at work. So I'm going to get off of here and go check in on her. And see you guys next week.
Brian's still there too. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later too. Peace. Take it easy.
You outroing there, Biggie?
Well, I don't really know these guys, but I guess I'll see you next time.
There you go. You never know who's going to watch this. They could be watching it next week. They could be watching it a month from now.
To strangers on the internet.
That's what I do for a living. I talk to strangers on the internet. Strangers then become friends. So, all right. Catch you guys later.
All right. Peace out, everyone.